All right. I wanted to. I was desperately trying to finish what I wanted to say in the last video. In the few seconds I have remaining, but I didn't quite get it. So I'm making one more quick video. All right. So basically, what I'm trying to say is look at how you're contributing to your life. For me, it's been very difficult to come to the realization that I have all this anger that I need to work through. I was watching a video where um, I forget who it was. It was either Jesus or Mary, who was telling someone, who was clearly overweight, very probably obese. Um, the reason why you're not losing weight is because of all of that anger. And in that moment, you know, I felt very strongly that that is the answer that I've been looking for. Why I have not been able to lose the weight, you know, that I have. I don't understand why I'm so angry. I don't understand how my parents have damaged me. I don't understand how the church that I was raised in damaged me. The community that I was raised in damaged me. My sisters, to some degree, damaged me. And I don't want to say all this, and make you think that it's all the fault of everyone else, although there is legitimate fault. There are parties that are at fault for damaging. Because I realize that there's a lot that I have to repent for myself. I don't really know what that is yet, necessarily either. But it's a lot of addiction, it's a lot of becoming angry with people, having this need that I've talked about where I want other people to take care of me. I want other people to make things stable in my life. It's also my racism. It's also my treatment of women. My feelings towards women. My needs with women. I remember one time many times where I talk with women and I say certain things and I want them to fix my problems. I want them to make everything all right. And these are women that I'm just getting to know. I remember one time this woman just got up and left. And I was nonplussed, or I was really confused about that. Now looking back on that event, I realized that I had a need for her to make me feel okay. How long I've had this need in my life, it's probably been a long time. I probably still have it. And I have a lot of animosity towards people. The very people that I expect help from, the very people that I want them to help me. I don't even like those people. I have a lot of judgment towards those people. It's really messed up, but it's true. So I'm realizing that all of these problems that I have are contributing to my life being less than what I want it to be. It's all of these issues are contributing to my misfortune. The fact that I don't have a loving partner in my life, or even know who my soulmate is. The fact that I'm still as overweight as I am. I have the health problems that I have. All of these things are the fact that I hate my life. I hate who I am. I hate how things are going. There are so many aspects of my life that I wish were not the case. I wish I didn't have to worry about money, but I worry all the time. I wish I was more successful in my endeavors. I made a meetup group recently, and I recently, I'm closing down that meetup group because there's no interest. Also, I don't think I'm helping, but I have a blog, and I get maybe 1 or 2 or 3 views per post. That's not very many. I mean, it's something, but it's not very much. I have a YouTube channel that gets between 0 and 5 views per video that I make. And I'll just tell you honestly, I have this expectation that is higher. I would like that to be higher. And the proof of that is that whenever I see the low view count, I often want to delete a video, and I feel bad. I feel badly. I feel like my worth. I feel like I'm worthless when I see the low view count. So I have all these issues where I'm not successful in the endeavors that I do, and I realize, a lot of people might be screaming at the screen right now and be saying, Thea, you can't blame anyone else for that. But the fact is that I want to do that. I do want to blame other people. And I have some acknowledgement that I don't deliver that well. I'm not very coherent, and I'm not as deliberate or direct with what I want to say, and it's not like in a very neat pile in the way that it should be. Or maybe it's not a pile, but whatever. Like even right now, I wanted to make a 2-minute video to close up some arguments, but it's 6 minutes, it's probably going to be as much as 10 minutes. But, what I'm saying is all these issues in my life are not ideal. This is not what I want my life to be. It's not what I want to see in my life. And I have to take responsibility for all of those things. And while I'm not able to take full responsibility at this time, all that I'm able to do is realize that I have some serious problems. I have some serious personal issues that are causing all of these things. And if I were to deal with them, I believe that things might be a little bit different. If I were to deal with the fact that I hate many black people, it's not quite that. It's more like I judge their behavior. But, we could mince words about as far as what that is that racist? But I think there are elements of racism. There's definitely a lot of judgment. So if that's racism, then yes, I'm racist. There's issues with women, where I ogle women, where I look at them up and down, and fantasize about women. There's issues with children, where I sexually fantasize about children. I did that about a week ago. That's pretty awful, right? Now having said that, I don't know where I'm going with. I lost my place because I know that's pretty bad. But yeah. If I were to deal with the root emotions, if I were to get through all the higher emotions that cover up the root emotions, which are the healing emotions, basically the feeling my grief is the healing emotion. If I can get through that, then I won't have the other issues. I'll be much better. I'm sorry, I'm not able to. I'm not really saying what I want to say very well. But basically what I want to say is that I need to deal with my rage, and I need to deal with my addictions. I need to, I've been trying to use my willpower to just stop eating food and engaging in the other addictions that I have been engaging in, but it's not been working. And so I think my best bet at this point is to pray a lot about it, to ask God for help. And if I were to do that, and if I could attract a location where I feel safe to let out my anger, where I feel this is a good time to let out my anger, to get through my rage. I think I need a lot of time to get through my rage. And even in this apartment that I'm in, I don't feel comfortable getting out my rage. And that's a problem too. I need to pray for help with this fear that I have. Someone's going to stop me from feeling my rage. Someone's going to say that I'm disturbing them. And I have, as I said previously, I have this deep desire to make people around me comfortable. I want everyone to think that I'm a good guy. I'm a good boy, basically. My mother used to tell me, "You're such a good boy. What's such a good boy?" And I think I still want that. I still want people to think I'm a good boy. So I need to work through that fear. People might not think I'm a good boy. People might think, "God, you're the worst." Instead of people telling me, "Oh, you're such a nice guy, Theo." Someone might come up to me and say, you are the worst. I really don't want to hear that. I really do not want to hear that. And I don't think that's necessarily true, but the fact is that I don't want to hear that specifically. I definitely want to hear people say things like, I'm nice. That means that all the work that I've done to pretend I'm good is working. But, yeah, there's a lot that I need to work on, and I might attract homelessness again. And when I say I'm attracting it, it's more like I'm just not. I'm not doing the things I need to do to prevent it. So, yes, I'm definitely attracting it when I'm not doing the things I need to do to prevent it. I have a massive problem with using my will. I don't quite fully understand what that means, but like, I'll talk a lot about things and I'll pray a lot about things, and to some degree, making these videos is probably wanting to talk about things instead of dealing with it. So that's another reason why I can understand people would not be interested in seeing my videos, is that I'm all talk and no action. But that's another issue, definitely, that I need to pray about, and I need to just do it. Is that willpower? I don't know. I don't want to include you in my questionings. So let me try and close out this video once again and say that, you might think that your life is not the way you want it to be because of other people, because of the politicians, because of your parents, because of God, because of Satan, because of your partner or your children or your boss or whoever. But it's really important that you take a look at what's going inside of yourself, and you try and be a little bit more honest, and you take stock of, are you an angry person? Do you have anger? And that can be mild frustration throughout the day, like I have. You just have to realize that there are addictions that you are engaging in. If you're not at one with God, if you're not a perfect person, if you don't have perfect health, and you're not happy all the time, and life isn't this beautiful dance, this beautiful ecstatic waltz every single day, and that means that you have a lot of dark emotions, and covering those dark emotions are all of your addictions, and you might have a lot of rage too, a lot of anger. It's just the way things are at this point for many people. And it's been hard for me to come to this point to finally realize that, these long-standing issues are not minor things. They're huge. My level of rage, my level of animosity for people and myself, my level of judgment for others and myself is pretty significant. And the other things that I mentioned too, they're significant in their implications of how they damage others and damage myself. And I'm constantly living that way. I'm constantly engaging. So, I want to thank anyone that has been watching up until this point. I hope this has been beneficial somehow. And I hope I've, given a decent explanation for what's going on with me. I think the next thing that I need to do is, the next thing that I want to do in my life, what I see going forward, is trying to work on not just my rage and my addictions, but also I want to work on my will. I want to do something close to manual labor. I want to work hard with my physical body. A lot of people say you need to work hard. People have been telling me my whole life I need to work hard. And I'm a very lazy person. So I think that's something that do I need to work hard? Is that what God wants me to do? What does that mean? How do I feel? Why am I not? Why do I avoid hard work in my personal life, in my day-to-day life? I don't create very much. I'm on the computer. I'm on the internet. On devices all day. Basically, what I believe about hard work is that there should be no hard work. Anytime you're engaging in hard work, you are not doing something that you want to do. There are things that others looking in might call hard work, but it might not be that hard for you. It might be a breeze to you, and that's how everything should be, as far as I'm concerned. Everything really should be a breeze. You shouldn't have any hard emotions. Is really what it is when you're doing hard work. That was a terrible explanation. Fuck. Anyway, I have all these questions about hard work. I'm not gonna reel you into that discussion, but I have to deal with my anger. I have to deal with my addictions. I have to deal with hard work. And the fourth thing I really want to work on is being honest. And I'm already, I think, a relatively honest person. I want to be more honest than I actually am. There was a moment, for instance, where I was talking to someone and we were talking about pedophilia, and he was talking about how there's a lot of pedophiles in the prison that he was in, and how terrible they were. And he kept on talking about it and talking about it. And there was an opportunity at that moment to discuss my own issues with that. And if he hadn't kept on talking about it, I wouldn't have felt that way. But I felt that the issue was raised, and a moment had popped up where I could talk about my issues with that. And a lot of people would say, don't divulge that. Most people give me that advice. Don't talk about that to people. And I do think that I'm not going to buy some beans and broccoli at Target and tell the cash register cashier, hey, I'm a pedophile. That's not what I'm talking about. But I think there are moments where it does come up. Anyway, that is when I have a desire to talk about something and I don't talk about it. That's what's called withholding, and that's dishonest. So I want to be more honest in that respect. I also want to just tell the truth when it's time to tell the truth. If that is, a lot of where that comes up is in my job. Theo, how are you doing today? I'm doing terrible. If that's how I honestly feel, that's what I should say. And it's also to do with the hiring process. Theo, are you healthy? Well, no, I'm not completely healthy. Theo, do you have sleep apnea? Do you, when you fall asleep at night, do you have trouble breathing? Yes, I do. That would keep me from getting the job that I currently have. I lied about that, and because I lied about that, I was able to get this job. That sort of thing happens a lot. I want to be honest all the time. That's the point that I want to get to. That's the state that I want to get to. And initially, I know that, even if from this day forward, I choose to be honest all the time with everyone, I know that doesn't mean that I have gotten there yet fully. Because if I desire to be dishonest, then I'm not in that state of being where I am honest all the time. I haven't fully absorbed that moral part of myself. I haven't fully, become moral in that way. So it's just let me make an analogy with veganism. You can forego animal flesh and animal products like dairy or cream or eggs, and you can become a vegan. You can be a vegan for a year, but if you still desire to eat animal flesh, like recently Timothy Sheaf stopped being a vegan, and in a way he wasn't a vegan for a long time. It depends what your definition of being vegan is. To me, being a vegan ultimately is you lose your interest. You lose totally your interest in eating animal products. So in much the same way, I can stop lying But if I still desire to lie, then I know I have stuff to work on. So I want to get to the point where I lose all my desire to lie. I lose all my desire to keep, up falsehoods or tell falsehoods or bear false witness about myself or others. All right, guys. What I thought was going to be a 2-minute video has turned into a 20-minute video, and I have no one else to blame but myself. I have chosen, for better or for worse, to talk about certain things that came up when I felt a desire to talk about those things. So that's what I've done. That's where we are, and I hope this was somehow meaningful. I really do, and I'm always wanting to stop making as many videos as I do, and wait until I have more to say. Wait until I've actually grown more, but it doesn't seem to happen. But this is a pretty significant thing that's about to happen to me. My life will change a lot, it looks like, in the near future. So I wanted to clue people in before that happens. So thanks for watching, and I wish you well in your processing, in your process, in your journey of becoming a better person, of becoming someone with more love. Challenge yourself and pray.